Hey guys, coming to you from another mild day at the park. It's beautiful today. It's 50 again. I don't know if you guys can see the ducks. The water is still really low. But I decided to bring Bee to her favorite place, to the park, to have some outdoor time. She does not want us to stand still. She had me running before. She's got a lot of energy. Maybe you can see the ducks now. But it's a little chilly, it's a little windy. It was warmer this morning. But again, it's January and it's in the 50s. Well, it's about 50 now. It was in the mid-50s this morning. There are the ducks. So today, I thought we would talk about the healing journey. So, been on a lot of podcasts and I've talked about a lot of different things, and I started switching how I started explaining the healing journey, because in our society we're taught that we shouldn't feel our feelings or our emotions. We should push them down. They're not real. They're all in your head, right? That's not true, because these feelings and sensations are the body sending you messages to get your attention, let you know that there's something going on, there's something that needs to be addressed, there's something you need to pay attention to. And when we don't pay attention to them and we push them down and we stifle them, make them wrong, we create stuck energy in the body, right? So everything is energy. You, me, Bee, every tree, every leaf, everything you can't see and everything you can see is all made of energy. And so you can't destroy it or create it, but you can change it. And so when we alter the homeostatic balance, come on, of the body. Sorry if this video is a little choppy. I'm getting pulled in every direction. So when we don't feel our feelings, we don't feel our sensations, they create blockages, stuck energy, stuck emotion, stuck sensations in the body. And that can lead to disease and illness. It's an imbalance, right? The body's job is to bring you back into balance. And we just get in the way of it a lot of the time. We think we know better, because in our society, all the emphasis is put on the mind. But disease and imbalance and illness occurs on all levels. The physical, the mental, the spiritual, and the emotional. And when we don't address all levels of the body, we cannot heal. And in order to heal, you have to connect the mind, the body, and the spirit. So in our society, all the emphasis is put on the mind, right? Go talk about your problems or don't talk about your problems. They're not there, they're not real, they're all in your head. You're too sensitive, grow a thicker skin, right? So these are all things I've heard my whole life, but they are real, right? And I'm entitled to feel what I feel. And just because someone else doesn't feel it doesn't make it wrong, right? So this idea, this duality of good and bad and black and white, it keeps us in this constant separate state of the mind being separate from the body. But the mind is just part of the body. And they talk about the three brains, right? So I don't know if you've heard this. So there's the brain, the gut brain, and the heart brain. And the electromagnetic field of the heart is far superior and larger than the electromagnetic field of the brain. So why do we keep leading with the brain? Why can't we lead with the body? And so this is a huge part of my healing process, was beginning to honor and respect the body. The intelligence that exists there. The intelligence that exists there without me doing anything. It was all created for me without me having to do anything about it. But because we have this disconnect, this separateness, and we don't respect it, we live in disconnect. We live in a state of dis-ease, as Louise Hay says, right? And she says, or she said, because she's passed away years ago, a thought is just a thought and it can be changed. So these belief systems, like I've talked about before, can be changed. They're not in stone, right? You're the one keeping them in stone. You're the one following them as if they are in stone, but they're not. You can change them. And in order to heal, change is necessary. Change is the process of moving forward. And so to be afraid of change, you're going to stay stuck. Because there is no going back to normal. That doesn't exist. What is normal? Who decides what normal is? You, me, who's ever elected into power? Whoever came before hundreds of years ago and decided? No. So when you can be curious about it, to wonder, how could this look differently? How could I perceive this differently? We can also take that just in general life, but also with our healing, to be curious, to wonder. Dr. Kim Geramo says this, what's right about this I'm not getting? Oh, there's some deer over there. They must have heard us. They started scattering. Right, so this idea of rather following into judgments and expectations of what somebody else said, or what someone says it should look like, it should be like. Why can't you decide what it should look like, what it should be like, what you should be like? Why give that away to somebody else? We're all unique. We all have unique gifts to share. And when we stifle those gifts, when we stifle the part of ourselves because we don't want to be perceived as different or weird or strange, we all suffer. And so when you can be courageous to express your own needs, to express your own desires, be authentic with your messaging, with who you are, without hurting other people, without pressuring or forcing your messaging on them, but just allowing, oh, that was a trip, just allowing it to be, right? Accepting what it is that exists right now in this time and place. I'm free to walk through the woods. The deer are free to run away from us. Bee is free to explore whatever she explores. So I leave this video with you with the courage to choose what's best for you. You get to decide. Let me know in the comments.